it for me, nice and loud. Your content objective. Read it for me. What are we doing? I can represent and solve multiplication of a whole number and a fraction. Raise your hand if you know how to multiply just with whole numbers. 4 times 3. 1 times 2. Everyone knows how to multiply with whole numbers, right? Well, now we're going to change it up, and we're going to add a fraction in there, okay? So we took some notes earlier on your multiplication of fractions, okay? Someone tell me what they already know, prior knowledge of what they already know about fractions in general. What do you know, Alieta?
They have numerators.
Numerator, what does numerator mean?
The top number.
The top number, right? What else do we know?
Denominator.
Denominator, what is a denominator?
The bottom number.
Bottom number. What else do you know about fractions?
The denominator.
When what?
When you add.
Good. She said the denominator has to be the same when you're adding or subtracting fractions. Yes. What else do you know? What do you know? Ooh, someone tell me about an elephant and a bird. What is that called?
Improper fraction.
Improper fractions. It's improper for that elephant to be on top of that little bird, right? Okay, so improper fractions. What happens when that numerator is greater than that denominator? What do we have to do?
You have to divide.
You have to divide, right? Okay, so all of these prior knowledge that you already know about fractions, we're going to add on to that, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. Someone tell me, do you think you need to know fractions when you get in life?
Yes.
What do you, okay, let's just show of hands. Raise your hand if you think you're ever going to need to know how to multiply fractions in your job or at home. Okay, raise your hand if you don't think you're ever going to have to use multiplying fractions in life. Okay, you don't. Okay, so you actually will have to. What if I say that I'm going to be baking a cake and I need 3 recipes and they call for 1/2 cups each? What do you have to do? Multiply that 3 times your 1/2, right? Or what if I say I'm walking a distance and I'm 3/4 to my 1 mile? What do you have to do?
Keep walking.
Keep walking? You're going to have to multiply, right? Okay, so all of these different scenarios, you're going to have to use them in real life. So if you go to slide 18, okay, everyone should be there. Are you there? Okay, this is a shout it out, okay? You should have to, there's a question that's going to pose there. And I think I might have to reset. Let me see. And it's going to ask you, what is bigger, 1/5 or 1/12? Okay? So if I have fraction pieces, and this is just a question, it's not a right or wrong, I just want to get your input on what do you think is bigger? A fraction piece that's 1/5 or a fraction piece that's 1/12? Does it let you answer or do I need to reset? Alright, go ahead and enter your answer. Letting you, or is it saying it's going to wait for you?
Oh, you need to press start.
Oh, there we go. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, we don't.
This is your answer. I want to know what you need to do. All right, I'm starting to see some 1/5. Okay. Let's look at these results. I'm seeing some 1/5. I'm seeing some 1/12. Okay. All right. 1/5 and 1/12. Okay. I'm not going to tell you what that answer is. Now go to the next one, and you should come up across. Oh, it's on teacher mode. All right. Here we go. Go to slide 19, and you should see some fraction strips.
Teacher mode.
I'm still on teacher mode?
No.
What that says student mode? Hold on. Okay. of 1/5, and I want you to pull up that fraction piece of 1/12. And I want you to compare them. If you need to reset it because there's already stuff there, then reset it. But I want you to put those right underneath one another, and I want you to compare those two fractions of 1/5 and 1/12. All right. What do we notice?
The 1/5 is bigger than the 1/12.
Bigger.
Which one is bigger?
The 1/5.
Okay. So this is what you see right here. You see 1/5 and you see 1/12. Yes?
Yes.
Which one was bigger?
1/5.
The 1/5. So I want you to come up with, in words, what that is telling me. So I'll do the first one. The one with the smaller denominator is
Bigger.
bigger. Bigger, right? And the one with the larger denominator is
Smaller.
smaller. And I want you to understand that just because it has a larger denominator does not mean that it's a larger piece of that fraction. Okay? It means they're smaller pieces. Does everyone understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Thumbs up if you understand that the denominator, if it's smaller, it's bigger. And if it's larger, it's smaller. It's like the opposite. Okay? Hands down. All right. We're going to move on. I'm going to do that. All right. I want you to look at this problem right here. It says, if 3 times 4 means 3 groups with 4 in each group. That's regular multiplication. You know how to do that, right? What would you normally do?
Cut them in half.
What would you normally do if I say 3 times 4? Multiply, and what would that product be? It would be 12, right? Well, now you're not working with 2 whole numbers. Now you're working with a whole number times that fraction, yes?
Yes.
So put this in words. What does this say?
3
times
groups of 1/2.
3 groups of that 1/2. Yes? Does everyone understand that that's what that means?
Yes.
Okay, right now, back on page 19, I want you to go and give me 3 groups of 1/2. Go now. Go back to page 19, and I want you, using those fraction strips, and I want you to give me 3 groups of that 1/2. Go back to page 19, and I want you to pull.
What?
Thumbs up when you get it so I come check it. Awesome. Good. Of 1/2. Good job. And if you can, try to put them in the fraction strip piece where it's the 1/2. Okay, fill them up. Fill them in. Yep. And how many are you getting? How many did I say I wanted? 3. So pull up 3 of them. There you go. Put it over here. Is that 3, Ellen? Good job. All right. Good. I see that the majority of you have that. I want 3 of these. Okay, here we go. So this is what yours should look like. This out of the way. Thumbs up if that's what you got. Yes, pretty much I saw everyone when I was walking around, they had that. All right, hands down. Okay, does this fill up this right here?
Yes.
Yes, so what does that make?
A hole.
1 hole. It filled up that 1 hole. And then how much do I have left over?
1/2.
So what is that fraction when I put them together?
One whole and one.
1 and 1/2, right? Okay, so let's go back. So you're telling me just with the whole fraction strip model, with the model, wait, we had 1 and 1/2, yes?
Yes.
Okay, we'll go back to that answer in just a minute. This is, I have 3 groups, 1, 2, and 3, and I'm gonna put those in halves. And how many do I want?
3.
3 of them. I want 3 of those halves. So at this point, this is where you would shade in 1, 2, and 3. What does that equal?
1 whole, 1 half.
1 whole and 1 half. Did we get the same answer?
Yes.
Yes, we did. Okay, moving on, same problem, but now we're going to do it in a repeated addition because all multiplication really is just that repeated addition, yes? So how would I do 3 times 4? Using addition, how would I do 3 times 4? 4 plus 4 plus 4, right? Or 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Same thing with fractions. Now, our problem said 3 times 1 half. What do I need to add?
1 half.
1 half plus?
1 half. 1 half.
Okay, now prior knowledge, you know how to add fractions with like denominators, yes? What do we do with those numerators? You add them. You can add them if those denominators are the same, right? So what is 1 plus 1 plus 1? 3. 3. And what does my denominator stay?
2.
2. It stays the same, right? Because you know that those denominators, when you're adding, do not change. They stay the same. Okay, what is that called?
Improper
That's
fraction.
an improper fraction. Your numerator cannot be larger. So when it is larger, what do you do that? How, by doing what? By dividing. Okay, so we're going to take this right here, and we're just going to divide to get that mixed number, because you can have an improper fraction. Okay? All right, how many times can 2 go into 3?
1.
It goes in 1 time, yes? Okay, what is 2 times 1? 2. When we subtract, we get 1. What is that 1 representing?
The half.
What is your remainder representing in your fraction?
The numerator.
The numerator. This is your numerator, and this is your denominator. Did we get the same exact answer that we got when we did it the model way? Okay, model way and repeated addition, got it the same. Okay, now we're going to learn that multiplication way. Okay, so the product was 1 and 1 half. Okay, thumbs up if you understood it this way. Ronaldo, you understand it this way? Okay. Now, before moving on, now we're going to do it the multiplication way. I want you on your paper right now to set it up, as 3 times 1 half. Because not everybody works the same. Some people like to learn drawing pictures, some like to do the multiplication, some like to just repeated addition, okay? We all get the same product any way you do it. All right, so on your paper, you need to do 3 times 1 half. Okay, using your prior knowledge of those whole numbers, how do I convert that whole number into a fraction?
Put a 1 underneath it.
Awesome. You're going to put a 1 underneath it, okay? And someone tell me, what do I do now that I have 2 fractions with each other? How do I multiply that, Kevin?
Multiply 3
times.
times, 3 times 1 half. Or whatever.
Remember that you're almost there. You have the first part correct. You have the first part correct.
3 times 1.
Look. Go back to your notes.
3 times 1.
What does that say? Numerator times numerator. So which ones are the numerators?
So 3 times 1.
Yep. You got it. 3 times 1.
I just said that.
And what are my denominators?
1 times
1. Oh wait.
2.
2.
1 times 2, right? Okay, what is 3 times 1?
3.
And what is 1 times 2?
2.
Do we get the same thing? Three halves, right? And again, that's the same improper fraction that we got. And how do we convert that into that mixed number? I don't want improper, you're going to divide, Okay, when you divide, you're gonna get that same product of 1 1/2. Yes? Okay, I want you to try this one on your own. Now we have 4 times 1/3. Put that into words on your paper. Go now.
What?
We have 4 times 1/3. I want you to tell me what that means in words. What is that telling me? 4 times 1 through.
4 groups of 1/3.
Oh, okay, write on your paper. I want to see.
Oh.
Good. Good job. Okay, once you have that and I come by and I check it, I want you to start doing the model on your page 19. I want you to start getting that 4 times that 1/3 in your fraction strip model on your Lumio, page 19. After you write it in words, I want you to go show me in the model on page 19. Good, you drew it. So clear it, and now we're working with what fraction? We're working with thirds now. So raise your hand once you have your model. Yep, you can start doing your model now. You got it, Savannah? Okay, so go to page 19. Okay, now I want you to get 4 groups of that 1/3. So you're pulling this 1/3 right here. The thirds, the one that has the 1/3. Yep. See my hair? So how many are you gonna pull? 4 of them. So go ahead and put them in where the thirds are. Right here. Good. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. And there's 4. Did it fill up a whole line? Yes, that means that's 1 hole. When it fills it up, that means that whole thing is filled. That makes 1 hole. And then how many do you have left over? 1/3, right? So you have 1 hole and that 1/3 left over. Okay. Once you're done with that fraction strip, and I already see a lot of you are correct on that fraction strip. Okay, you're dealing with thirds now. You can start doing your repeated addition, and once I come by and see that you understood that repeated addition, then I want you to do the multiplication way. Okay, I want you to try all 3 of those processes to make sure that you're truly understanding what it means to multiply that whole number times that fraction. Good job. Now I want you, now that you have this, I want you to do that repeated addition. So now you're gonna go and you're gonna put 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3. Okay, now add all those numerators. How many do you have? Okay, and your denominator stays the same. Yep. That's improper, so what do? You divide it. Divide that. Give me this one. I want you to use those 1/3 fraction strips, and I want you to pull up 3 of them. So reset it. And get me 4 of those 1/3. And those of you that use those accommodations for the STAR test, you will have a fraction strip model inside of your accommodation folder, so that way you're able to use. So you're using them here, and then you're also able to use those on the STAR test for those that use those red folders in class with those accommodation sheets. You're able to use the fraction strip model as well, okay? Okay. We'll get to another one in just a minute. All right. So what was the product here? Who got about this product? What'd you get, Jeremiah?
1 whole and 1/3.
1 whole and 1/3. Well, let's see. I have 1/3. I have 1/3. How many thirds is it whenever we add them up?
4.
I have 4 thirds, which that is considered a what? Improper fraction, right? Derek, what do we do with that improper fraction? Good. We're going to divide 4 divided by 3. And what do we get? Goes in 1 time with how many remaining? 1, which that is my numerator and denominator. Is that what Jeremiah said we had?
Yes.
Yes, right? All right, now it's going to be some practice on your own. Okay, this is a student handout so that way you're able to actually shade in those bars on there, okay? So I'm not able to, actually let me see if I'm able to pull it up, just so that way you can see what it looks like. Okay, so this is what yours looks like right here. Remember, what's the first step in changing that whole number into a fraction? What do I put underneath it?
1.
A 1, okay? So you need to go and put a 1 underneath these whole numbers to make that a fraction. And now it's your choice. You're either going to use the diagram, you're going to use that repeated addition, or you're going to use the multiplication, okay? Now I'm going to tell you, all eyes on me really quick. All eyes on me. Now, it's okay to use repeated addition for these smaller numbers. But once you start getting into 50 times 1/3, that means you're going to have to add 1/3 how many times? 50 times. That's a lot of adding and that's a lot of writing, okay? So it's okay to use that repeated addition for the smaller whole numbers, but once you start using those larger whole numbers, I really want you to get in the habit of using the multiplication way that I taught, okay? With the numerator times numerator and denominator times that denominator. All right, go ahead and get started on your own on A through E, and I'm going to be walking around to make sure that you are on track. Do you need help? You go over there. Do you need help? Go over there. Savannah, go over there. Do you need extra help? Kevin? You understand how to do it? Yes. All right. Pull up the chair, Savannah. Okay. Alright, what does A say?
A says
Use the fraction.
Give me the blue one. What does A say?
6 times 1/3.
6 times 1/3. Okay. And your 6 times your 1/3. Tell me what this means in words. Tell me, like, make sense of this. What does this mean? What does that mean? 6 wholes
and 10.
and 1/3, right? So
Yeah,
this,
1/3.
this means I want 6 groups of that 1/3. Okay? So on your page 19, go back to page 19. You're on it? Okay. Clear it. Are you on page 19? Yes? Okay, now we're using the 1/3 fraction strip. I want you to pull up 6 of those.
Of what?
Of the 1/3. Pull up 6 of them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay? Your 4.
Alright, so that's 6.
You got your 6? Yes, good. Okay, so how many
That's 6.
holes did that fill in? Did you get it, Savannah?
6.
You have 6. 6, right?
So instead of 6 holes. I'm done. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
On all of them, those are improper, so you need to go and make sure you're dividing. Okay, so you have, this is what you have right now, right? And they're all shaded in. Okay, how many are fully shaded in? There's 6 fraction pieces, right? What does, this is it broken into thirds. Are all 3 of them shaded in? So this is 1 hole, and what about this one? Are all 3 in that one shaded in?
Yes, so it's 1 hole.
So that's also 1 hole. So how many holes do you have?
2.
2. Okay, that's using the model. Now let's use that repeated addition. What is this saying right here?
6 times 1/3.
That means I want how many 1/3 when I add them? 6 of them, right? Okay, go now. Write that on your paper. 1/3. You're adding that 6 times.
Oh.
Okay, add them up. You know all the denominators they check, so that then you're able to add those numerators. Good job, Javion. Good, Alan. You know that denominator stays the same. Okay, so now what?
6/3.
Good. You added them up and you got 6/3. You cannot have 6/3. This numerator cannot be greater than that denominator. Is your numerator bigger?
Yes.
So what do you have to do?
Divide.
Good. You're gonna divide. I'm gonna erase mine because I don't have any more room. But now we're gonna divide that 6 divided by 3. Okay. What do you ask yourself when you start dividing?
How many?
Good. Good. How many times can that 3 go into your 6? And how many times can 3 go into 6? If you don't know, I want you doing those dots in a box. That's strategy. You're gonna put 6 in there. Actually 3. 1, 2, 3. Starting off. And then you're gonna count those dots in a box, right? What? This is 3. How many more? 4, 5, 6 would be for 2. Is that backwards? That's so backwards. 2. And then how many more would be for 3? 6, 7, 8, 9, right? Okay. Now we're gonna use that, and then you need to go across, and I want to know how many times that 3 can go into 6. Tell me when to stop. Tell me when to stop. Stop right there. How many times is that?
2.
2 times. So that's what's gonna go up here. And what is 3 times 2?
3 times 2.
Oh, 6. So that's what we're gonna subtract. Is that 6? And how many are remaining?
0.
0. So this would be your answer. Is that the same thing we got when we did the fraction strips? Yes. Okay. I want you to attempt the next one on your own. Remember to use every single little strategy we just did. The next one says 5 times 4, 6.
25.
I like the way y'all are working quietly. Thank you. I'll come around in just a minute and check to make sure that you are on track. You got 20 over 6. Can I see your pencil? And you divided 20 divided by 6?
And I got 22.
Okay, that is correct. Now this can be simplified smaller. This is the right answer though. Good job getting it. But now you have to simplify this smaller. Remember, you have to divide something here and here to make that smaller. But that's correct. Good job. Alright, How many times did you add it?
6. 4.
And how many times does your problem say to add it?
5.
5. So be careful. Goodness. Did you get it? Try that repeated addition. So you have 5 groups of 4, 6. So you're going to add this many times. In just a minute. Are these ones? Okay, so you have 4. So what did you get? They are supposed to be 4s. Because you're doing 5 times 4 6. Yes.
So when I
Yep.
so
That's correct. Now that's what kind of fraction right there?
20.
That's an improper fraction. Okay, so now you know that you have to divide. So you can do your dots in a box. I see you're already starting, right? How many times can it go into 20? So do your line over here and start with your first one of 6.
So
1 and 6. Okay, you're gonna count 6 more. 'That'd be 24. You're trying to get to 20.
Oh, but that's the closest.
Okay, so when you're up here, you're not putting tallies. You're putting 1, 2, 3, 4. You're numbering.
Oh.
So. Okay, so how many times can it go into that 20?
4.
I want you to put your finger here, and you cannot go past this 20. Go across.
1. So like
It can't be bigger than 20. What number are you going to stop at?
18.
Good job. And what is that times?
3.
So your 3 is going to go on top, and then you're going to subtract that 18